Hello, hello, hello. Sorry about that. As last week I was going to do 2 more streams for Christmas, but didn't get either of them in, so I'm gonna do those this week. Today for the Phoenix Wright one, the other one, I don't know when. Sometime this week, perhaps. We'll see. But we're ready to go, so let's just get right into it. Let me check the sound settings, make sure everything's okay. I want to make sure my volume is good, as especially compared to the volume of the game. I'm gonna assume it's good volume, because my gain is just fine. Yeah, and the volume is all right, I think. Okay. So where we left off, we were just starting the trial day 1 for this case. I think we were just getting the rundown from Detective Fulbright, so we'll get to that one moment. Okay, we're good. Oh, you guys see, by the way, I got a piano for Christmas. Let me show you guys real quick. Let me play a little something. There we go. And then I also got a Pink Floyd shirt for Christmas, so that's sweet. All right. So let's get right into it. Mr. Justice, you received your cross-examination. Yes. Oh god. Cross-examination about the murder. Hey, kidlins. I was showcasing a little bit, you know. I know, see? Let me... See? Dark side of the moon. At the time, Alderman QB was asleep from a drug he unwittingly ingested. Hold it. Hold it. Sure. Come to think of it, a coffee cup was found on the floor. Was he sedative in his coffee? Bingo! We found traces of a sleeping agent all over the inside of the cup. Jesus, especially laggy today. I know, I'm so punk rock today. Wait. Oh, Begwin. I was trying to tell what those emojis were, but or like things. They look like, or emotes. One's like a puppy, and then one's a squirrel thing, fox. I don't know. Frame stream quality is good. Just 1 second. I need to make sure I don't have anything. Yeah, it's more laggy than last time, so I just want to make sure I don't have anything open or anything. One second. One is a puppy and one is an owl. Oh, whose channel was that from? Interesting. Bit of auto distortion. Yeah, so that's then an issue, but it seems to have gotten down again, so I guess we'll go forward for a bit. It's not as bad. And that is why he was out cold. That is until he leapt to his feet upon being impaled by the mayor. What an awful way to wake up. A rather stimulating eye-opener, if you ask me. Dude. I too would have risen to the attack, for to die in battle is the samurai way. Paradise awaits fallen heroes, but that hole in his stomach would make eating a challenge. Dude. Prosecutor Blackwell, please! Those morbid jokes of yours have no place in this court. Yeah. Yikes. Monka cringe on that one, dude. Says the jester and Detective Guys. Moving right along. Let's see. Mayor TENMA attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab. Hold it! So, the alderman was drugged because he was really strong? Did you see those rock-hard muscles of his? Yeah. I'm surprised the spirit even managed to pierce that armor like musculature. I admit, I'm completely jealous of that righteous body of his. Dude. Well, he did look pretty buff, even in that suit he had on. Quite a difference when compared with a yellow belly like you. Yellow belly? Who even says that anymore? Yeah, and the color's all wrong too. Oh, I know. How about a squishy red tomato? I move to strike both of your comments from the record. Mr. Justice's character is not the issue here. Now, let's get back to what happened after the far more muscular alderman was impaled. Yes, well, your average person would likely have died on the spot. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed a statue and struck back. Hold it! Could he really have attacked his attacker after being impaled with that huge spear? Oh yeah, also I forgot to mention I have new headphones too, see? I'll show you the old ones right here. The old ones were these sets. These babies over here. I used to wear these, but now I wear these. HyperX. Yep. Yagi? Okay. Could he really have attacked his attacker after being impaled with that huge spear? Absolutely. After all, he was once a pro wrestler. The injustice of big drugs and then speared his answer with a righteous counterattack. But does being a former pro wrestler make him human? Superhuman? Yeah, Cloud 2 HyperX's Cloud 2 model. You gotta love him. Absolutely. After all, he's one of the good guys, like a superhero on the side of justice. Even though he was retired. Sorry, one second. Got my props out here. He could still don his superhero guise in times of need. Objection! You need to lay off the comic books, detective. We're talking about real life here. Setting aside the half-wits flights of fancy, the fact is this. The court-ordered post-mortem concluded the victim moved after a skewering. So he found the strength somehow to attack his attacker, huh? Detective Fulbright's testimony sounds alright. No wonder he's so confident. No, he only thinks it's airtight. Oh, did she say airtight? Oh yeah, airtight. Yeah, not alright. Oops. No, he only thinks it's airtight. It's up to us to poke some holes in it. That part about the alderman fighting back sounds like a big hole waiting to be poked. Oh no, you're totally good, kid. I kind of have a habit of doing both. Like I'll speak and then I'll also type for some reason. I just find that's a habit of mine. So no, I basically would do that anyway. So don't worry about it. So is that? I'm guessing that's a cat with like a present, or is that the owl again? Because the other one says Hecate. Yeah, that must be the owl. But sudden pain jolted the victim awake and he grabbed his statue and struck back. No, he didn't, because there were no prints found on the statue. Objection! Did the alderman really strike the mayor? What? Are you questioning my sense of justice? Mm-hmm. Your so-called justice needs to find itself a pair of legs to stand on. You claim the alderman struck back after the mayor put a spear through him. But the statue he supposedly used to defend himself creates a major hole in your theory. It would appear the defense has a counter-argument. Very well, let's see what the defense thinks is odd about the detective's statue theory. There are no fingerprints. Well, to start, there are no fingerprints on the supposedly crucial piece of evidence. And if you look at the crime scene photo... Yep. You'll notice that the alderman isn't wearing gloves. Yes, I believe he's quite gloveless indeed. If he touched the statue with his bare hands, he should have left some prints. Detective Fulbright, you did take that into account during your investigation, didn't you? This can't be happening. Did I arrest the wrong man? Gotcha. You did it, Apollo. You knocked Detective Fulbright off his high horse. Well, it's just 1 point in our favor. Who do you suspect clubbed the mayor if it wasn't the alderman? Well, if it wasn't the alderman, then that means someone else must have clubbed the mayor. You mean there was a third party in the Fox Chamber? Exactly, and this could be the big break we've been looking for. There does seem to be a hole in the prosecution's argument. Prosecutor Blackwell, would you care to respond to the defense's assertion? The least you could do is look at me while being dismissive. Your mind is as dull as an unhoned blade, Justice Dono. Justice Dono? He's been watching too many samurai flicks. It will take more than that to cut down Simon Blackwell. A whelp such as you has no hope against my superior swordsmanship. This is a trial, not a sword fight, Prosecutor Blackwell. There's a perfectly good explanation for the lack of prints on the statue. You might recall that blood-stained cloth found at the scene of the crime. It just so happens that the blood was the mayor's. So, what are you getting at? Hone your mind, boy. Why was there blood on that cloth? Solve that riddle and you shall see that the hole you thought you found is but an illusion. Oh, jeez. Now let's see. How was that cloth used? Was it used to wrap the statue? Maybe the alderman wrapped the statue into the cloth. That's not good for us. In short, he wasn't touching the statue directly when he used it to strike back at the mayor. Precisely. Bully for you, boy. Oh, it's nothing. But Apollo, that's not good for us. It's really bad for us, actually. Apollo, don't let him start manipulating you too. What, he's manipulating us? Oh, well, I mean, he kind of tricked us into going, like, what? I'm confused. You just closed the hole for the prosecution. I did? I did. Right. But a statue wrapped in cloth would leave no fingerprints as plain as day. But this also proves there are no holes in our theory of the alderman striking back. Oops. Ugh. I mean, if we didn't do it, Prosecutor Blackwell would have done it anyway, so. Fox and Demon Statue updating the court record. Now do you see how dull your mind is? I'll make sure to sharpen it next time. A particularly frightening inmate once told me that. He always tenderly honed his blades before he went to work, like the samurai of yore. Samurai? Sounds like a homicidal maniac to me. Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time. Wait, so the inmate was a murdering samurai prison chef? It would seem the victim and his killer were the only ones after all. I was kind of attached to that whole... Now what? Apollo, I just thought of something. If they didn't find anyone's fingerprints on the statue, who's to say someone other than the alderman didn't hit the mayor with it? Why didn't I think of that? Anybody could have not left prints on it. I mean, isn't that what we were implying just a moment ago? Then who, pray tell, struck the mayor with the statue? Please, illuminate us with your wisdom, young lady. I mean, how are we supposed to know who it was? If there's a possibility of a third person, I mean, that's a possibility. We don't have to name the person. But maybe we do. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. There's only one answer. The real killer. Prove the existence of this real killer, then. What evidence have you? I'll give you evidence, all right. Chill, Athena. Chill. Athena, are you sure about this? To borrow your words, Apollo, I'm fine. Take a look at this. Black feathers and tracks, allegedly from a yokai, were found at the scene. I believe they're from the third party who struck the mayor at that statue. Is the event actually suggest some sort of monster killed that alderman? That's exactly what I'm suggesting. Objection! No, Athena, you just lost what little credibility we had left. Sorry, guess I got carried away. Mr. Justice, we've no time to deal with objections between members of the defense. No. I mean, what were we supposed to say to that? Sorry, Your Honor. It's just this kid's still, well, a kid. Ouch, you meanie. I'm reporting this to Mr. Wright. So, is the court to believe that the feathers and tracks are from a yokai, as you put it? What the flip is going on? No, Your Honor. I believe they are a fabrication. The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the alderman. Interesting. And why do you suppose the killer would do that? Why indeed? Yeah, they could have just as easily framed the alderman. They didn't need to frame or yokai.
Mr. Justice, you seem as new to this as your partner is.
Ouch. This I'm not reporting to Mr. Wright. Hoy, Fulbright, explain to his boldness what these brats are missing. You know, the who and why behind those feathers and tracks.
What? You mean you can explain all that? Ha 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 ha! Our investigative prowess is without equal.
I'm starting to think I chose the wrong profession.
Very well, let's hear what these so-called yokai feathers and tracks.
Witness testimony. Feathers and tracks.
This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal murder. Mayor TENMA panicked when the amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster. The strange feathers and tracks he planned made it look like a yokai was the killer.
What the... Those feathers and tracks stoked the villagers' fears?
Absolutely, he knew exactly how to prey on their superstitious minds.
Those feathers only gave weight to the idea that the alderman was slain by a demon. The accursed demon TARO, that is.
TENMA who?
TARO, the legendary demon locked away in the village's forbidden chamber. From a young age, the villagers are taught to fear the great black-feathered demon, and thus were they blinded to other more plausible explanations. Hold it! Hold on for a second. Before we start letting our imaginations run wild, isn't there someone else that could be considered a suspect?
Mr. Justice, please explain yourself.
On the day of the incident, there was a special event held at Kibi Manor, and as part of this event, there was someone dressed in the likeness of TARO. Obviously, this person is a much more likely suspect than any legendary demon.
Objection.
Dullard, you are playing right into the killer's mind games. What? Listen here, the feathers and tracks were merely red herrings. The villagers believe the murder to be the work of the real TARO. However, the police believe the person in the TARO suit is the killer. Oh. The defendant sought to sow this confusion in order to deflect blame away from himself. However, he was knocked unconscious by the alderman, and thus our mentally deficient mayor was caught red-handed at the scene of the crime. Objection! Do you honestly believe Mayor TENMA would do something so stupid?
Objection!
The evidence speaks for itself. Fulbright. Oh, whoops.
Right. It was the mayor's last-ditch effort to stop the opposition before things got crazy. The Amazing Ninetales is fueling both the yokai craze and the anti-merger movement. Plus, he's one of the better-known masked wrestlers and the hometown favorite. That's why the mayor panicked and set out on the path of injustice. But do the people of Ninetales Vale really believe a yokai is behind the crime? Yokai sightings are an everyday event there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I must say, a crime that preys upon an innocent, impressionable minds.
Just so. A particularly silver-tongued inmate once had the following words for me. Oh, whoops. The innocent of heart are the easiest prey.
You don't say. Was this inmate a con artist?
No. He was framed for the murder of his beloved. I actually felt sorry for the poor chap. Wait, so he wasn't the predator, but rather the prey?
Yes, well, now then, the defense will proceed with a cross-examination.
Cross-examination. Hold on. Let me go real quick and I need to... Sorry, just give me 1 second here. Apologies. Here, are we fixed? Yeah. Cross-examination, feathers, and tracks. Okay, let's save here. This is a checkpoint.
So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster.
Hold it! Did the murder and yokai evidence really stoke the villagers' fears?
Absolutely! An immediate fact. The presumed return of the dreaded TENMA TARO has them shaking their boots. Oh my, is it really that bad?
That stupid, superstitious lot. It's as if Jack the Ripper had been set loose in their village. The mere thought of that demon lurking about is enough to spark a mass exodus.
I see. That's a very persuasive argument.
The mere thought of his honor buying into Simon the Psycho Slasher's words makes me want to spark my own exodus out of the courtroom right about now. Doof.
So you see, there can only be one reason why anyone would plant those feathers in tracks.
It is kind of true, but...
The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer.
Hold it! But it doesn't add up. If what you say is true, why top it off with murder?
What do you mean?
You claim that our client planted the yokai evidence to stoke the villagers' fears. If so, then why not stop there? Why murder Alderman Kyubi?
Excellent point.
It is, isn't it? So, Your Honor agrees that there is no reason for the murder, correct?
Objection.
Perhaps the killing was only spur of the moment. You're saying it wasn't premeditated? But the guy was out cold. Why would it be spur of the moment? From the outset, I had no intention of paying heed to any of your babble. However, the fact is, the mayor made a startling discovery. A startling discovery? Why don't I like the sound of that? Alderman Kyubi's secret identity. Apollo. I think Prosecutor Blackwell has figured out the Alderman's secret identity. But even if he has, why would it be a motive for the mayor to commit murder? This is not good. This patch of fur was discovered at the crime scene. It's from the mask worn by the Amazing Nine Tails. Therefore, we can conclude that this mask was at the crime scene.
Oh my, but why would it have been there?
The victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-murder movement. Need I say more?
Well, oh, wait. Could it really be?
Your baldness has had an epiphany, I see. Our victim Rex Kyubi was the Amazing Nine Tails.
and the mayor's discovery of such was his motive for murder. No!
Oh, God.
Order! Order! What a shocking development! A motive clearer than crystal clear.
What do we do now, Apollo? I don't think they'd tie the Alderman's secret identity to the mayor's motive for murder. I didn't think they would. At last, we've reached my real point. Why did the Alderman have to forge a secret identity? Does it not pique your interest, your baldness?
I admit it does. It is odd that he had to create this other persona. Just to secretly participate in the anti-murder movement.
Very astute of you, Your Honor. Your baldness.
Right, now take a look at this. If you value your dearest life, you will merge Ninetales Vale with Tenma Town. This blackmail letter was found in Alderman Cupid's pocket.
Uh-oh.
What?
At present, the Alderman's wife is in the hospital, and that letter is clear evidence the mayor was blackmailing him by threatening her life. Wait, didn't the blackmail letter sent to Mayor Tenma go missing? Right after the Alderman's murder? You think maybe the killer took the letter from the mayor after the murder? And planted it into the Alderman's pocket? That would make sense. It's possible, but we don't have any proof that that's what happened. Talk about being up the creek without a paddle. Blackmail letter out of the court record.
Mayor Tenma would have made a clean getaway. Oh, I need to... Sorry, it's getting in the way of the text. Hold up. There we go. Mayor Tenma would have made a clean getaway if he just left after the planting the yokai things. But he's knocked out cold by a sudden decision to kill the Amazing Ninetales. So it was the Amazing Ninetales' counterattack that brought the entire crime to light.
Wait a sec. Fulbright's claiming that the mayor killed the Alderman after planting the yokai evidence. And that the mayor was knocked out cold immediately after that? Detective Fulbright, please add your previous statement to your testimony.
Mayor Tenma killed the sleeping Alderman after planting feathers and tracks.
Now why would that be contradictory? Let's think on that. Well, we can sort through the evidence real quick. Let's see. Somehow I don't suspect that to be, true, but why? Hold it! So let me get this straight. You believe the mayor planted the yokai evidence before the murder, not after?
Absolutely, and then he was knocked out cold by the Ottomans' last punch. He wouldn't have had a chance to plant the evidence after that.
Something's not right here. Maybe it's Jinxie's statement. Hard to believe that a stiff, humorless man like the mayor could be behind such a stunt. We have to do something, Apollo, before they pin it all on the mayor. Then we're going to need to prove that Mayor TENMA didn't plant that yokai stuff. How are we supposed to do that?
Mayor TENMA killed his sleeping alderman after planting feathers and tracks.
Objection! Oh, dang it. The evidence is at complete odds with this with the witness's testimony. Your baldness.
Who, me?
What do you make of this objection of his?
Oh, I don't know if I should, well...
I've no patience for vagaries. Now answer my question.
Yes, sir. The defense objection was clearly misguided.
Bravo. Nicely done.
And see how misguided the is under a penalty.
I better look before I leap next time. One sec. I'm gonna check to see if... Whoops. I'll be right back. Okay, back. Do I ever stream? Yes, I actually do. Well, I mean, I used to a lot more, because League was a lot easier to stream, but for some reason now I keep having issues trying to live stream League. But I used to do League, I used to do Toontown. I'm planning on doing either like a Toontown stream next time or something to take a break from Phoenix Wright. But yeah, I've been doing these mainly, true. But yeah, League would be the other option, but again, it's hard to stream. For some reason it lags out, or it just like doesn't, like the FPS is terrible when I'm streaming League. It's very weird.
Mayor TENMA killed the sleeping alderman after planting the feathers and tracks.
That seems weird. Oh, the question was, do you think you'd ever? Yeah, I plan to. I just need to figure out how to stream League more, because if I could, I would definitely stream ranked, because I do solo queue a lot. So I would probably do some solo queue streaming if I could figure out how to make League less laggy when I'm streaming it. Oh, it's a picture, right? Because the feather's on top of the cup that's filled. Objection! There we go. I think that might be right. Detective Fulbright, your sense of justice is anything but fair. And when we play Valorant, I sometimes consider that, but at the same time, I think it'd have the same problem with League. It'd just be hard to stream.
What's this? You dare question my justice again?
Uh-huh. Yes, I'm going to prove it to you. Take a look at this photo.
is the crime scene photo. And what does this prove?
It proves when the feathers and tracks were planted.
But I already told you they were planted before the murder. The defendant planted the yokai evidence and was knocked out while killing his victim.
That would be impossible. If you look right here, it's clear when the feathers and tracks were left at the scene. On the cup. Take that!
I just pointed the yokai feathers and tracks, Mr. Justice?
Yes, see how the feathers are on top of the blood and the tracks were made in blood? Oh, well, that too. I mean... In other words, the yokai evidence could have only resulted after the murder.
Then the mayor must have planted the evidence after killing the alderman.
But you said it yourself. The mayor had been knocked out, or knocked unconscious thereafter. There would have been no time for him to plant any evidence at all. Therefore, there must have been someone else besides the mayor and the alderman at the crime scene.
No, there must be some mistake. Order! Order! Where's your evidence? You can't possibly have any, can you?
Evidence? Oh, I have evidence. In fact, I have an eyewitness testimony for you. Oh, this is what I was trying to present a moment ago.
You do? But how? Was my vaunted sense of justice really just half-baked?
He's taking this really hard.
Mr. Justice. What is this testimony regarding a third party that you claim to have?
I have it right here, Your Honor. It's the sworn testimony of Mr. Tenma's daughter. Oh yeah, so here are all the playable characters. So first you have Phoenix Wright. Where is he? Main character, or like classic character, right? Then you have in one of the other games you're able to play as Mia Fey for 2 episodes, which was Phoenix's mentor. And then you were able to play as Miles Edgeworth because he had his own 2 games, and he's a prosecutor. He's the only prosecutor you get to play as. And then he played as his dad for an episode. And then Apollo Justice got his own game. He came into the series, so he's another character. And then Athena Sykes, who's our partner here, you get to play as her on occasion in this game as well. So there's, let me see, main series characters, like main playable characters, there's like 3. But then there are a couple others here and there. Related. Yeah, and they're all related to him in some way. So like Mia was his mentor, Edgeworth was his like best friend, or is his best friend. And then these 2 are underlings of his. So yeah, so Phoenix like Apollo and Athena's mentor basically. The witness Jinxie Tenma saw you. Yeah, exactly. Well, theoretically, I mean, she's probably the most directly related to Phoenix. Maybe Edgeworth would be the prosecutor because he's like his best friend or whatever. But yeah, those 2 are like the main like related ones. These 2 kind of like came in recently, and he kind of brought them in. But like the cases that they cover aren't necessarily directly related to Phoenix though. Like their stories aren't necessarily. They have their own stories per se. But yeah, the witness Jinxie Tenma saw a yokai in the hallway after stumbling upon the scene. It was the demon Tenma Taro. He's the source of those feathers and tracks. Uh-oh. Will somebody please say something?
The defense will explain to the court exactly what he means. You dare to mock this court and justice itself? You're unfit to bear your name, boy.
Your boldness. It appears our defense attorney here is delirious from exhaustion. Hold it! Apollo, think of something quick before you're held in contempt of court. Sounds good, Nick. Thanks, man. I'll catch you later. I'll catch you guys later for some, I don't know, whatever we're doing Among Us or whatever. But yeah, we'll talk soon. Appreciate the lurk. What do you think I'm trying to do? Before you decide whether I should step down, please, hear me out?
Very well, Mr. Justice, I'm all ears. But you had better explain yourself well. What is this yokai you were talking about?
Uh-huh. It's all in the statement right here. Jinxie Tenma asserts that she saw Tenma Taro. After she discovered the crime scene and called the police, she came around the corner in the hall. It was around here. That she saw Tenma Taro fleeing toward the foyer. The defense asserts that whoever was impersonating this monster, it's the one who left those feathers and tracks behind, intentionally or otherwise.
What? How incredibly unjust! Why haven't I heard about this before?
The defense just proved there was someone else. So the mayor isn't the killer?
Was it all set up? The prosecutor is a convicted felon after all.
Paul, the momentum has shifted in our favor. Good. Now let's keep it that way.
Objection!
Little do you realize that though you are in the midst of a fray, your sword is broken. My sword? I didn't know I had one to break. Are you implying there's a problem with my claim? Consider this. If that yokai impersonator had indeed fled toward the foyer, that fool and that fop would have seen him. Fool and fop. Oh, you mean Filch and LaBelle. Now that you mention it. Both Phineas Filch and Florence LaBelle were in the foyer at the time. But they haven't stated that they saw a yokai, have they? Did you ever consider that yokai was but a figment of a scared little girl's imagination? Still, regardless of circumstance, that means that the tracks were placed afterwards. We proved that to be a fact. Why didn't those two see the Tenma Taro impersonator pass by? Why don't we ask them ourselves? I was just about to say that myself. No, really, I was. The defense would like to call Mr. Phineas Filch, caretaker of Kiwi Manor, to the stand. I just know he must have seen something.
I suppose you can't ignore the fact that the little girl believes she saw a monster. I trust you have no objections to Mr. Justice's request, Prosecutor Blackwell. I understand that Mr. Filch is enjoying a nap out in the lobby.
I knew that Tanuki was a rare find. But when we captured him, I didn't think he'd end up a witness. Do with him as you will. Did you just say captured? No, wait, I don't want to know. Whoops.
Very well then, bailiff. Please go wake Mr. Filch and escort him to the witness stand. Will you just state his name and occupation, please?
The name's Filch. Phineas Filch, caretaker of Kiwi Manor. Oh, and, this is for you, your lordship. A little something I thought you might like.
Oh my, what a fabulous pair of shoes, and your honor will do just fine, Mr. Filch.
It's those shoes again. Don't they belong to Detective Fulbright? Don't tell me Filch stole them again. They're all yours, your ship, sir.
What? Well, they seem awfully expensive. Dude.
Yep, too expensive for me, but I reckon they'd be perfect for someone like your honorship.
It's a kind gesture, but legal ethics dictate I can't accept such gifts.
Oh, ethics, semantics. Just take 'em if you want 'em, polish them up real nice for you too. Doof.
I'm sorry about these shoes, Mr. Filch, but I will accept your testimony. The court would like to hear whether you saw TENMA TARO in the foyer after the murder.
Witness testimony.
Guarding the foyer.
At the time of the murder, I was on guard duty in the foyer, just like Mr. QB asked. I was making sure no one, fair, foul, fishy, or otherwise could get to our guest. I was still in my office keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 p.m. But I didn't see nothing outside the ordinary, no siree.
That yokai you keep jabbering on about was but a phantom of a little girl's dreams.
So, you're telling this court you never saw anyone dressed up like TENMA TARO? Yep, was guarding the whole time. That's the truth, the whole truth, and not about the truth.
Not about the truth? What?
And TENMA TARO? Yeah, but you don't believe in all that yokai mumbo jumbo, do ya? I certainly don't.
Looks like you do, Mr. Man. My bracelet, it's... Oh yeah.
Something the matter, Apollo? My bracelet keeps squeezing my arm. Really? So you think Mr. Filch has been lying to us? I wouldn't rule it out. Now, if I could just zero in on a tell. Some sort of nervous habit. Ugh! What in the... What's a hawk doing in here? Allow me to introduce my trusty cohort, Taka. He seems to have taken quite a liking to the courthouse. Made it his new home, in fact. He doesn't live with you, in jail? Who's ever heard of a courthouse bird? Taka simply loathes trickery and fraud. And that queer pal of yours seems to have offended my dear Bosom Buzzard. This isn't some sort of trick or... Ah! God, I won't feel a squat like this. What the heck's going on around here? Run for the hills!
No pets or other animals allowed in the courtroom. Somebody help.
Oh, he's merely having a bit of sport. He won't harm you, save when truly famished.
In that case, you will ensure a feathered friend is properly fed.
Looks like we have to do this the old-fashioned way. We'll be fine. I think. If there was someone dressed as TENMA TARO there, Filch should have seen him. We'll just have to put our faith in Jinxie's statement for now.
Mr. Justice, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Costing guard the foyer.
I was still in my office keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 p.m.
Wait a minute, wasn't there something? Very interesting. I mean, like, it's so weird that the program he was watching out for that he had with him, you know, the program for the wrestling schedule, like, it's so weird that it matches up to after 3 p.m. Weird. I guess we'll just press on this. Hold it! Did you really keep an eye on that foyer the entire time? Well, I mean, it's his job, right? So. Poor old Filthy. Been working hard my whole life. Oh, you'd be smeared by some green on this fancy, schmancy suit and really silly haircut. Sorry, Mr. Blackwell, sir. I didn't mean to get off subject here. There. Dude. Sheesh, Blackwell didn't even say anything.
To answer your question, yes. I kept an eye, no, both of them in fact, on the foyer. I was still in my office keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 p.m.
Objection! Yeah, there it is. Don't lie to the court like that, Mr. Filch.
Hey, it ain't right to bushwhack a fella like that.
Unfortunately for you, I have evidence that proves you're lying. If you look at this TV listing here, you'll see that at the time of the crime, there was a pro wrestling match scheduled, something you'd never miss.
I didn't watch that one, no sorry. I was doing my job like I was supposed to.
This guy doesn't know when to give up. Mr. Filch, someone even circled the match. It was you, right? Like, dude.
Yipes.
Not only that, you even told me you watched it. You said, and I quote, "It was a complete disaster." So, do you admit to slacking off?
You can't trick me with your Rudy Poo lawyer talk. I'm one of them professional types too. I can do double duty, watching TV in the foyer at the same time.
The only thing Filch can claim to be a professional of is professional thief.
Mr. Justice, you would have this court believe the witness is slacking off?
Uh-huh. That's correct. He claims to have been watching TV and the four at the same time, but that's nothing but a bald-faced lie.
Bald, you say? But I'm the one, not the one who's lying. Perhaps you meant the witness, Mr. Justice? In that case, let's see what evidence you could offer. You claim Mr. Filch is lying about watching TV and the foyer simultaneously. Now, prove it.
I think it's the foyer diagram. I mean, didn't we see the...
Yeah, to watch the foyer, he'd be...
Sorry. He'd have to be outside of the office, and he has to be inside the office to watch the TV. So clearly there's a contradiction here. Clearly. Take that! Please take a look at the direction of the TV is facing in this diagram. Now, unless Mr. Filch has eyes where his right ear should be, I think it would be impossible to watch the foyer and entrance and the TV at the same time.
Why, yeah, someone watching TV though couldn't possibly see the entrance.
Exactly. And that means, Mr. Filch, you were slacking off and were not watching the foyer as you claim.
Yay! The bags of the cat. I mean, the other way around. Order! 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 But Mr. Justice, is Mr. Filch's less than stellar work ethic relevant in this case?
Mm-hmm. It's very relevant because while he was slacking off watching TV, there really could have been a TENMA TARO impersonator in the foyer.
Objection.
What now? Granted, this Tanuki is lax in his duties, but he still had the foyer entrance covered. What are you talking about? This. It's Haka? I'm not a mind reader. It's a auditory sense. His eyes may have been slacking off, but his ears were still hard at work. Right, Tanuki? What the bull?
They were. I mean, yes, they were.
Leading question. But you already admitted slacking off. Now you say you weren't?
My eyes might be lazy, but my ears ain't. I would have heard anyone in the foyer. You see, the foyer and stairway get all creaky and squeaky when someone walks on them.
Doe.
Creak, creak, creak. Loud enough to wake the dead, I reckon.
So, you're saying you didn't hear anybody walk by?
Yep, my ears were working full time. So who's the liar now, you no good shyster?
A lying thief calling me a shyster. This has to be the low point of my fledgling career.
Gotta hand it to you, Mr. Blackwell, sir. You really are something else. I mean, you don't miss a thing. And them bags under your eyes, they're darker than mine.
Fair warning, Mr. Filch. Taka is particularly fond of Tanuki. Should you lie to this court again, you may suddenly find yourself on the menu.
You with the... Please don't eat Mr. Taka, sir. The witness will henceforth testify truthfully under penalty of painful burning tax. And with that in mind, the court requests that the witness revise his testimony accordingly.
Witness testimony, ears working overtime.
It's true. I was watching a pro wrestling match on the office TV.
Aren't wrestling matches like really loud? So, I mean, let's take for instance, let's assume he wasn't paying attention to his eyes because he was watching the wrestling match. But how in heck's name would he have been able to, like, you know, hear hear that if he was listening to it? It doesn't make any sense to me. Seriously. It seriously doesn't.
My eyes might have been slacking off, but my ears, they were working overtime. The floor there's all creaky and squeaky like. So no way I would have missed someone walking by. So you see, there went no TENMA TARO in the foyer.
Superstition is the religion of feeble minds. Understand, a simple, rational explanation is best. Forget yokai, demons and such. We must use common sense, for lacking that, our entire world would be but upside down. Says the convict prosecutor is totally a sign of the end times of the legal world. And besides, if there were any yokai roaming around, I'd nab them and sell them to the zoo. I wonder whether Jinxie was just seeing things. That seems to be the general consensus, but I'm sticking to my guns. But if we can't prove she saw TENMA, the mayor's sure to be convicted. Then we better hope my guns fire bullets, not BBs.
The defense will cross-examine the witness.
Cross-examination steers working overtime. Apollo, what could this mean? Do you think Jinxie was just seeing things? Well, if that's the case, the details she provided were pretty impressive, but if we're to continue believing Jinxie's statement, we'll have to uncover Filta's lie. Right, or find out why he can't tell the truth. The floor there's all creaky squeaky like. No way I would have missed someone walking by. Hold it! Is that true though? I don't know if we can trust this guy. Honestly. So you have pretty good ears, Mr. Filch. As good as they come, I'd say. Ain't nothing to hear creaky floor. Plus, that TENMA makes a sound when he goes by. It's like a jingle jangle. Jingle jangle? How does he do that? It's that staff of his. That's what jingle jangles. Jingle jangle, jingle jangle. What's he talking about, Apollo? Beats me, but I guess TENMA has a staff that makes noise. Come to think of it, didn't Jinxie mention something like that too? She said she saw TENMA holding a staff-like object that made a jangly sound. I guess it's the source of the noise then.
Well, Mr. Justice? Mr. Phillips says TENMA jingle jangles. Would you consider that vital information?
Very important. Uh-huh. Extremely vital. I request that it be added to his testimony. If TENMA was to pass by, his staff would have gone jingle jangle. But where do you know about that from? Because by all accounts, all we have for TENMA is this, and he has no staff. Objection! TENMA's staff would make a jingly sound, you say? Well, I'm gonna say that your story doesn't add up.
Is there something the defense would like to share with the court?
Mr. Phillips, you say that you didn't see TENMA on the day of the incident. Why then why did you assume, why then? Why did you just assume just now that TENMA would be holding a staff? Huh? You see, okay, so the TENMA Jinxie saw held a staff in his hands, right? Okay, but, and she described its sound just like you did, as a kind of jangly sound. Yeah, so he was holding the staff, what's your point? Objection. The point is that TENMA doesn't use a staff. Not normally. What are you talking about? Well, you see, this is the only known document depicting TENMA, right? So Is there a staff in that picture, Mr. Filch?
You're right. There's no staff, not even a cane or a walking stick.
Ow!
So, question is, why did the witness think TENMA is the staff?
I believe the answer will overturn the prosecution's case on the most basic level. It totally is, Caitlin. It's like totally like Japanese like folklore, like demon stuff. Like they call them yokai, I guess. I'm assuming that is the term for them. But yeah, isn't that awesome? Okami. I love all those games, like the ones that like have like are influenced by Japanese culture and have the really cool art styles. They're super cool. I just have mad respect for them. I believe the answer will overturn the prosecution's case on the most basic level. I don't know. This is getting interesting.
All right, Mr. Justice, it's time to show the court where to go with this. Please tell the court why Mr. Filch believes TENMA goes to staff.
He actually saw Tamataro. Absolutely. You know, when I went to China, I learned that I'm pretty sure in Japan as well, but in China, and probably a lot of East Asia as a whole, frankly, kids have classes that are like calligraphy classes, and I'm just like, that is just the coolest thing ever. Like, seriously, having classes for calligraphy is just super awesome. And they do it every day. It's like a really important subject, so it's just like, wow. Mr. Filch actually saw Tamataro right after the crime occurred. That's the only way he could possibly know about the staff. But again! Bloody hell, you duplicitous little... Yes, how'd that feel, Blackwell? Not so fun when you're on the receiving end of the blade, is it? Freezing. Admit it, Mr. Filch. You did see Tamataro that day, didn't you? Well? I'm begging you, please don't make me say it. But clearly you did see Tamataro. Stop stalling and testify to that fact. No can do, no way, no how. You ain't got no idea how terrifying he can be. He? Mr. Filch still won't admit to seeing Tamataro, even though everyone knows he did. The question now is, why? Mr. Filch is scared to death. Is that why he can't admit the truth? Come to think of it. They say you must not gaze upon Tamataro, but in the event that you do look, and then tell anyone what you saw, Tamataro will claim your soul. Jinxie wouldn't admit to seeing Tamataro after hearing about the village superstitions. She said that if she told anyone that she had seen Tamataro, he'd claim her soul. Wait, you think Filch believes that too? So Mr. Big Time City Slicker Lawyer has heard about him? Them old village superstitions.
Will the defense please explain what the Willis is talking about? What the flip is going on here?
The people of Ninetales Vale believe some pretty strange things, and their superstitions may be the reason our witness here can't admit the truth. The truth that he really did see Tamataro. Darn straight, that's why. It's all right here. Ignoring these superstitions will cost you your soul? See, that's why us folks in Ninetales Vale can't talk about seeing Tamataro. Huh. I guess that makes sense. Weird. Village superstitions out of the court record. That clears up one mystery. The killer took advantage of the superstitions by wearing a TENMA TARO costume. They knew that way no one could talk about him, so it was as if he never existed. The defense holds that this TENMA TARO impersonates the true killer. What? Objection. Superstitions, you say? What kind of a fool would actually believe such rubbish? And would that using some silly fairy tale so easily expose the culprit? You'll need to come up with a more rational, common sense explanation than that. Objection. Your common sense seems awfully narrow-minded to me, Prosecutor Blackwell. Objection. Try living in my world, narrow cells, mortal danger, and dark, sleepless nights. There is no lack of superstitions in the Clink, but few are those who truly believe in them. Objection. Well, the village superstitions are real enough to the people of Ninetales Vale. A life or death superstition might make you a believer.
Order! Order, I say!
You fool of a Tanuki. 2 times now your lies have cost me. Sorry, I promise not to do it again. Taka, my fine feathered friend, have at him. No, he's gonna keep me alive. Head for the hills. Doof. What the... he took off.
Bailiff, what are you waiting for after him? With your finest men?
That's certainly not something you see every day.
I don't see many important fact has come to light. A third party disguises the yokai TENMA TARO is at the scene. And now we have 2 witnesses who can attest to that fact. Any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell?
Uh-oh. What?
Huh? What the? Okay. Oh!
His shackles. What? Shink. Oh, I'm too young to die. Justice, Dono. Long has it been since I've been forced to draw my blade. You had best say your prayers.
Do something. Have no fear, Fullbat is here. When the going gets tough, the champion of justice gets going.
Objection! Then get going already before he kills us.
Oh, but I'm standing on Silent Blackwell. No, God, versus his sense of justice sets him free. Objection! Objection! I object to the former definition of justice.
Silence. I'm not in the habit of cutting down unarmed cowards.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll see back against you now. You know...
I think the judge forgot he's in charge here. So, Justice Dono's assertion is this: Tenma Taro is the real killer, not Mayor Tenma. According to him, there was a yokai at the scene of the crime. Uh-huh. Right. And that yokai, or rather, whoever was impersonating him, killed Alderman Kyubi. Silence. Care to explain why Jinxie, being the first to discover the murder, did not see your alleged killer there, yokai there in the Fox Chamber? What? He's right. She said nothing about Tenma Taro being in the Fox Chamber. Let me enlighten you. That little scamp heard a dying scream right before she opened the chamber door. And your point is? Upon entering the door, she found a freshly skewered murder victim, the alderman, and the homicidal maniac who had killed him, the mayor. No, there must have been someone dressed up like Tenma. Then why does that little scamp claim not to have seen a yokai in the Fox Chamber?
Considering her father's accused of murder, surely she would have mentioned any third party that might have been in the room.
I don't understand. Why didn't she see Tenma Taro inside the Fox Chamber? There's but one way to find out. Ask Jinxie Tenma whether she saw your killer yokai at the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. The final battle draws nigh. Only one of us will leave here alive. Long has my blade thirsted for blood. At long last shall be sated. Wait, this is still a trial, right? Show me what you're truly capable of, Justice Dono.
Very well then. Both parties no doubt need some time to regroup. So the court will take a 10-minute recess in order to... Oh!
3 minutes.
I'm sorry, but... A 3-minute recess?
Just so. Plenty of time if your destination is intent as the loo.
The loo? You mean the bathroom?
Sheesh, at least include enough time to wash our hands. See that you take no more than 3 minutes. All latecomers will be punished.
Yes, sir. I hereby declare a 3-minute recess before the battle begins.
Hey, Tark. I declare Prosecutor Blackwell the winner of this round of Simon Says. Doesn't bode well for us, the prosecutor's running the show, does it? April 18th, 10:40 a.m. District Court. Defendant lobby number 3. He busted out of shackles. Yeah, what was that all about? Guess they don't make shackles like they used to. Better be careful, Apollo. You've really brought out the samurai in him. Glad to have you here, Tark. Sorry, I meant to say that when I said hi, but... You know. Especially after you proved there's a Tenma Taro impersonator at the manor. What's with that guy in the whole samurai act, anyway?
Such fine swordsmanship. That is no mere act. Mr. Justice, it's high time I challenge this jailhouse prosecutor to a duel.
No, wait. Let's take the dueling until after we prove your innocence.
I suppose it could wait till later.
Does anyone remember we're conducting a trial here? Athena, I'm gonna go wash up. Remember what Blackwell said, Apollo. Don't be late. Okay, one sec. Right before we start the trial again, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. Tarek, I can show you my piano while we're doing this little break. I got a piano for Christmas. Like a piano. Like a keyboard. And a Pink Floyd shirt. Or a Pink Floyd shirt, you can see it. Yeah. I'm sorry, whoops. Oh, sorry. Here goes it is. I know, right? Isn't it cool? What other ones? That one I'm still new on. But anyway, yep, that's it. Hi, Brendan. Yeah, I was testing out the keyboard, showing on the stream a little bit. So, and a Pink Floyd shirt for Christmas. It's pretty awesome. Glad to see you both here. But with that, let's continue. PogChamp. April 18th, 10:43 a.m. Just a court number 4. And now then, I believe our next witness is Miss Jinxie TENMA, made at QB Manor. I believe we can proceed now if the witness is ready, at least. What the... Nurayan, leader of the 100 demons, he really does exist. Wow, that is one well-polished tray. The witness will show a face while in court or intentionally be inadmissible. What? Where is my child? Be gone, Narihan, leader of the 100 demons. Oh, look at my yokai. Well, I was known as a judicial monster of sorts. The beast of the bar, the demon of due process, if you will. My charm has no effect. The demon of due process? Not sure I can see that one. Now, you little scamp. Yes. Thank you. I try to make everyone have a little bit of a different voice. The worst part is Phoenix and Apollo have almost the same voice. I find, but I don't know how to differentiate them. So that's basically like the ones with the closest. I trust you know why you're here. Bags. Bags? Oh, that tricksy Tanuki. Try the noodle stand and go enjoy a big bowl of Tanuki tail noodles while at it. What? This guy's humor is really weird. Everyone's a comedian. No, I meant your bags. The ones under your eyes. You must have trouble sleeping. Here, this charm will keep Azakiri away. Azakiri, the yokai that washes Azuki beans. The only thing needing worship or washing would be your father's neck before I take his head clean off. Azakiri often keeps people up at night with the noise he makes washing beans. But if you stick this charm on your forehead, you won't hear him anymore. Is that so? No, thank you. Looks like Prosecutor Blackwell got more than he bargained for. They're bad enough alone, but together those two are just plain creepy.
Your testimony, if you please, Miss TENMA. Specifically, whether or not you saw TENMA TARO when you discovered the crime scene.
Yeah, sometimes bean washing is too loud. It really be like that sometimes. Maybe quieter beans would be a good option, a better option to wash. When assessing what Jinxie saw. Did I see TENMA TARO in the Fox Chamber? Well, when I opened the door, I saw it. Yes, now I remember. Yokai, right there in that room. Well, that was a weird testimony. So there was a yokai at the scene of the crime. Uh-huh. Lots and lots of them. Wait, more than one yokai? Did TENMA TARO happen to be among them? I don't know. I just don't know. All I know is that the room is swimming in yokai. Kasha. Nirukabe. Seto Taisho. They were all three. They were all there.
This is an expected turn of events, and we've gone from no yokai to a flood of them.
This is ludicrous. You would have this court listen to this delusional scump's testimony. Yeah. Hold it. Your Honor, I believe her memory is simply clouded by fear. But a quick therapy session should ease her mind. With the court's permission, of course.
What a fabulous idea! Please proceed, Miss Sykes.
You sure you know what you're doing, Athena? She's obviously not herself. The trauma of discovering that crime scene and fear of testifying have her dazed and confused. A regular ball of confusion. But my analytical psychology-based approach should be able to help.
Any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell? Shall we let Miss Sykes proceed?
It makes no difference to me. Do as you will, but I doubt we shall get any viable testimony. She'd be better served by bearing witness to the sword skills I forged in a distant land. Huh. I'll show you. Uh-oh. Did I see TENMA TARO in the Fox Chamber? Well, when I opened the door, I saw I saw... Now I remember. Y- yokai right there in that room. Found something. Looks like an out-of-control emotion. Athena, what exactly are we looking at here? Oh, this? It's one of Widget's functions. Right here you can see images and emotions extracted from the witness's voice. Whoa, you mean that little thing can do all this? Pretty cool, huh? And here I thought it was just some kid's toy. Unfortunately, all I'm getting is an overflow of error right now. See how sad is brightly lit there at the bottom left? She's under an uncontrollable amount of distress, which is masking her other emotions. It seems the sheer terror she experienced has made her a confused mess. So all those yokai she thinks she saw are a product of rampant emotions? Yes, that's right. Her fear has instilled in her hallucinations and false memories. She's seeing everyday objects as monsters in her mind. It's a form of schizophrenic hallucination brought on by emotional trauma. And the trauma in Jinxie's case is fear. So she was, and still is, seeing ordinary objects as yokai. We'll have to find the root cause of her extreme fear before I can treat it. Now let's see. Apollo, can you point out the yokai on the Wheel of Fire? Sure, let's do that. She seems particularly terrified of that one. Start by tapping Probe. Next, point to what's causing Jinxie's out-of-control emotion. Finally, tap Probe again to try and get to the heart of the matter. Okay, let's give this a try. Got it! Jinxie, what's the name of that yokai on the Wheel of Fire? That's Akasha, a yokai that steals the bodies of the recently deceased. Jeez. I bet it came to steal the Aldermans. It's almost creepy how well that fits the actual situation. Exactly, it's a form of hallucination where the patient can't see things for what they are. There must be something at the scene of the crime that she's mistaking for Akasha. Apollo, you need to point out what she thought was a yokai on a Wheel of Fire. I think I know the answer now. Jinxie, that wasn't a Akasha you saw. Could you have possibly mistaken this for Akasha? Like the lights, I guess? Oh wait, what did it look like again? It looked like kind of like a fox thing, so maybe it was this? Take that! This is what you mistook for Akasha, or it was the lights. Probably the lights. What? That thing? No? I'd never mistake that for Akasha. Okay, so that's the chandelier then. Really? You have to consider what Akasha looks like, Apollo. Think brightly blazing wheel near the ceiling. Yeah, so it's the chandelier. Okay, let's give this another try. Could you have possibly mistaken this for Akasha? Take that! The light fixture. This one right here. It is a flame design and is up there on the ceiling. There was never a yokai on the Wheel of Fire. The Akasha you saw was just a light fixture. Okay. That's one memory back to normal. Nice job. Now that you've got the hang of it, it should be a cinch to point at the rest. Jinxie, what about this white wall-like monster? That's Nirikabe. It's a wall monster that blocks your way or leads you astray. That's no yokai, Jinxie. It's a folding screen. And this raccoon dog isn't a tanuki monster. It's a statue. It's just the statue of one. And look, these are just coffee cups. And this right here, it's nothing more than a fox statue. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, it's reduced, but that means there's still some. You did it, Apollo. Her extreme fear is under control now. It was all just my eyes playing tricks on me. There weren't any yokai after all. See, a clear-cut statement. That's the power of my psychology. And your intuition, Apollo. And just like we thought, there never really were any yokai in the Fox Chamber. Right. There never really were any yokai there. So the defense is asserting the exact opposite of the original assertion. Wait. Jinxie? What about TARO? There wasn't anyone dressed up as TARO or any other yokai either. I remember it clearly now. You've gotta be joking! Oh god, that's not good for us.
Order! Orderly court!
I think we just dug our own grave. Allow me to push you on in. It's the least I could do. She still has noise level though, right? Oh. Ah, no! Apollo, can I interrupt your freak out for just a minute? I'm still picking up some noise. It's an unexpected emotion. Does that mean Jinxie hasn't remembered everything yet? Exactly! We should be able to get something else out of her. I'll enter the new information we have and run an update. Okay. Info update. There in the Fox Chamber, I saw the alderman dead on the table and Papa collapsed in a chair. Info update. Nobody else was there, and that includes TARO. Why is there sadness more now? Got it! Maybe not. Seems like a non-natural reaction. Really? Because I don't see it that way. So it isn't unexpected given her testimony? Hello? Hello? Is there anybody in there? Just nod if you can hear me. Yes, there is someone at home, and that someone is going to try that again. Okay, I actually think it might be the surprise here. Like, why is she surprised that nobody else is there, and that includes TARO? Got it! Why is she surprised by that fact, though? Oh, never mind. Just going to try again. I was so scared when I entered the room. What are this? Got it! No? Okay, but why is she feeling sadness? She hasn't even entered the room by that point, right? So... My legs gave out and I fell to the floor. Okay, why'd that happen? Got it! Nope. Okay, then what about the sadness? The sadness decreases here. Why is that? Got it! Yeah, here we go. Like, why isn't she as sad here? The amount of fear you felt is rather low despite your legs having given out from fright. Could something have lessened your fear? Actually, I did experience a sudden burst of courage at that moment. You did? Where'd it come from? Let me think. Oh, it was Mama. I suddenly felt as if she was there with me. Okay, I'll enter sudden burst of courage. Now let's see. Ah, look! Info update. Apollo, the noise is all gone. Jinxie seems to have remembered everything now. Noise. Bye. A sudden burst of courage. Now, where could that have come from? Jinxie, was there something that gave you a sudden burst of courage? Yes, there was, but I realized I had done something naughty when I thought about it later. Any idea what could have given Jinxie that courage? Well, there is one piece of evidence that comes to mind. I wonder if she saw something like it at the scene of the crime. Oh, I know what it is. Jinx, does your sudden burst of courage have anything to do with this? This flower that her mom always liked. Her favorite. Take that! Jinx, you didn't happen to see a nine-tails flower there at the scene, did you? Ah, the demon lawyer strikes again. I can't hide anything from you. I found a small case with a picture of a nine-tails flower on it. I liked it so much I kept it. You what? You can't remove evidence from a crime scene?
That's right, young lady. Removing evidence is a big no-no. Nelly, we need to produce said evidence this instant.
Sorry.
It does seem to be some sort of case.
It's a really small one. It looks like a coin, more like. Looks like a really thin case.
Oh, look, something stood out. It appears to be a key.
Might I have a look, your baldness? This is none other than the master key to Cuby Manor.
Are you certain this part's gonna buckle?
It matches the serial number of the key that went missing after the murder. A master key that went missing? Why don't I like the sound of that? Our little scamp here has stumbled upon an article of unimaginable consequence. That's a little melodramatic, don't you think? Heed these words, for I shall say them but once. The sole key to the Fox Chamber has been in this little scamp's constant possession. Ergo, she was the sole person who could have used it before, during, and after the murder. Which leaves the master key as the only other key that could have opened the chamber. But this master key was found in a room that had been locked by this girl. And your point is? Until Jinxie TENMA opened the Fox Chamber with her key, the room had been locked tight from the outside world. And there was no one else in there save the victim and his killer. I trust you figured it out for yourself by now. A killer none other than TENMA TARO himself, Mayor TENMA himself, would be utterly inconceivable. No! Objection! How could this happen?
The defense system was afraid of drowning her frustrations.
Athena, are you alright? I know Mayor Ten was innocent. But there's nothing we can do. This sucks. Sykes, don't know. Allow me to put you out of your misery. Can I decline your offer? Abandon your client and your misplaced faith in him. Let the relief of a clear head and a clean conscience come rushing in. That will make the inevitable guilty verdict far easier to accept. Great, now he's playing Simon Says with us. Well, he's not going to fool us with his stupid mind games. Athena, don't fall for his tricks. Now I'm the one who's dazed and confused. I can't even think straight. Hey, are you alright? She fell right into his trap. Now I suggest you make a mad dash from the courtroom and into the wild blue yonder. Only by running shall your mind be cleared and your conscience cleansed. Alright, I'll be back in 10. Objection! Oh my god, she almost did it. Stay with me, Athena. Don't let yourself be twisted by that samurai. Apollo?
Mr. Justice, I heard you with one objection, but what did you object to?
Huh? Oh, right. That objection was more of a reflex than anything else. Thought I was hoping something would come to me while I was trying to stop Athena.
The court is waiting, Mr. Justice, though as it stands now, I'll be forced to declare your client guilty and your legal skills suspect if this is it. Now, do you have anything that could overturn the prosecution's case?
Well, actually, I do. Yeah. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Apollo, you do have something more than cords of steel, don't you? Not really, but we'll be fine. but... I've got absolutely nothing, but that's never stopped me before. I have to explain how the real killer would have escaped, or could have escaped from that locked room. Because it's all over if I don't. Apollo, this calls for a new approach. Try to think outside the box. Or in this case, inside the box. And what a doozy that locked room is, too.
Well, Mr. Justice, hello? Do you have anything that can counter the prosecution's argument?
You bet I do. The real killer must have escaped from the locked room one way or another. Vague conjecture shall only earn you a taste of my blade, Justice Dono. Time to do or die, literally.
The events will now explain how it would be possible to escape the locked room.
You sure about this, Apollo? Can you really explain what happened? I'm fine. We just need to think this whole escaping a locked room thing over from the beginning. Okay, so, let's see. If the killer had escaped, how could they have done so? The choices are pretty limited. I mean, the room has a window, but... it doesn't appear wide enough for anyone to get through it, and there's a sheer cliff outside. As for the air vent, it's up too high and there's nothing you could stand on to reach it. And needless to say, the forbidden chamber wouldn't open no matter what we did, so that's out. Yeah, that's why we gotta keep the solution simple. Like they say, simple is best. Occam's razor, mubby. We need to rule out all of the absolutely impossible escape routes. Then whatever's left just might lead us to the how the fox chamber was compromised. Your Honor, the defense proposed that the killer escaped through here. Oh God. Couldn't they still have escaped through the door? I mean, it was locked, but there's a key in there. Take that!
The hallway door? Well, yes, I suppose that would be the only way out.
It would appear you've already forgotten. The only available key until Jinxie Tenma came on the scene was within that locked room. How could one exit the fox chamber and then lock it without a key? Oh. No, but they could have taken the key and then gotten it back. No, but it would have had a... Dang. I should have seen this coming. Remember, Paul, keep it simple. Simple. Right. I could understand if the killer had exited the room with the key, but...
Well, Mr. Justice, the prosecution has some fine Japanese steel waiting unless you explain yourself quickly.
I'm fine. I can explain myself. The reason the fox chamber's hallway door was locked was because... Yeah, couldn't the but then... Oh, Tenma locked it from inside, maybe. Wait. I don't think we can say it locked on its own. I don't think that's reasonable. The guy couldn't, the killer couldn't have locked it from the outside because the key was found inside, so it'd have to be Tenma locked it from inside. Mayor Tenma locked it himself after the killer fled the scene. Then again, why would, but he was knocked out. That's just in case the killer decided to return. That would explain why the room was locked. Yes, I see. Then again, wouldn't Mayor Tenma have mentioned that himself? Oh, maybe it slipped his mind because of that blow to his head? Ah! I have already considered and investigated such possibilities. You have? The mayor's fingerprints were not found on the door or its doorknob. The only fingerprints found belonged to the alderman. Ergo, the mayor did not so much as touch the door. Oops. Okay, then how about... The reason the Fox Chamber's hallway door was locked was because... Okay, but that's still tough because we can't say it was... I don't think it would lock on its own. Why would it lock on its own? Okay, let's try the probe locked it from outside, but that doesn't make any sense because the key would have to have ended up inside again. What if the room was locked from the outside? In other words, the killer took the key through the hallway door, then locked it out! Consider this. The master key was found inside the tightly locked Fox Chamber. Any assertion the key was removed from that room is a blatant contradiction of fact. Exiting the room before locking the door would require taking the key outside. But the key was found inside the room, which does seem like a contradiction. If only we could explain both. Like how the key could be inside the room and be used to lock the door from outside. Well, there were two keys. Legendary defense can respond before Prosecutor Blackwell draws his sword. How can the master key be at the crime scene despite the room being locked tight? Not change the lock. I would guess slipped it in when the door was no, not when the door was open. That seems ridiculous. Threw it in from outside, probably, yeah. What if someone threw it into the room from outside? You know, something like... Go out the hallway door, lock the room, then toss the key back in through the window. That would explain how the master key could be inside the room. Or crawl through the air ducts and drop it through. And where would you throw it from? There is a cliff outside the Fox Chamber's window. Throwing the key in from there is an impossibility. Oh, right. Ugh! I wonder if the key could have been tossed in from somewhere other than the window. Somewhere other than the window? Could the key have been tossed in through somewhere other than the window? Yes, the air duct. Take that! The air vent? Yes, The window may be out of the question, but the air vent's not. Oh, that's right. The Fox Chamber's air duct leads out into the hallway. That's right. The real killer entered the air duct from the vent outside the Fox Chamber, then dropped the key into the room through the vent inside the chamber. That's preposterous. Ooh, that explains that the key got in there after it was used to lock the door perfectly.
Mr. Justice, I'm afraid I'm a bit confused,
Don't worry. I'll explain it so even Your Honor can understand.
Oh.
First, the real killer, disguised as TENMA TARO, murdered the alderman in the Fox Chamber. Then, they fled the room through the hallway door and locked it. Next, they entered the air duct from the vent outside in the hallway. Finally, the killer tossed the key into the room through the air vent the ceiling there. All that was left to do was go back through the duct and flee the manor. Well, Your Honor, could that be any clearer?
Amazing! Even I could follow that!
The judge seems really pleased. Really pleased. That explains everything. The real killer was someone dressed up like TENMA TARO. And there was someone else other than the mayor and the alderman in that room. Hey, looks like that lawyer has beaten the jailbird prosecutor. Whoa, that was a total turnabout. That massive forehead seems so attractive now. Wait, what? Seems so much more attractive now. What the?
Order! Order! Order, I say!
Now that I've proven now that I've proved a possible third party, I don't see how our client could be guilty.
Silence.
A valiant effort, Justice Dodo, but your final thrust missed its mark. Huh? Both that little scamp and the tricksy Tanuki saw that the yokai after it left the room. But then what? Did that irksome yokai simply go through the foyer and waltz right out the front door? Yeah, literally forehead. Literally look at this man's forehead though, like actually. Oh, we don't have our own profile, but when it comes over to Polygon, yeah, he's like a massive forehead. Yeah, look at that. My dude. That's exactly what happened. The killer fled from the... Ouch! But that is impossible. Without being spotted by the foyer security camera, that is. That is true. The electric eye here would have captured any pesky little yokai trying to escape. However, there's no sign of TENMA TARO anywhere in the security footage. What? Save for the foyer entrance, there is no other way to flee the manor, is there? Except for that window, but there's a cliff. I don't feel so good. Hold it! Wait, I believe there is one other way to escape besides the foyer entrance. There's a large window in the foyer. Oh, true. That's a good point. It's possible to escape through there without being seen by the security camera. Hey, you're right. Silence. Must I point out every crucial detail to the defense? It seems you lack not only brains, but investigative prowess to boot. I think you need brains to have investigative prowess, just saying. That is the cliff side of the manor. Yeah, I was about to say that is the same side as the other window, which faces a giant cliff. But it's closer to the town, so you think maybe. The only killer escaping that would be a dead one. No! None! Wait, so the killer didn't escape out the foyer window? What the heck, right? I suppose you're next, Rose, as the killer sprouted wings and flew off into the sunset. That would mean the killer really was a yokai. If only we had some sort of evidence that could point to a flying killer. Who's saying we don't? As completely far-fetched as it might be. What? You're saying you can prove the killer could fly? Whoa, I thought I was the only one on the... I thought I was the one with the cords of steel.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Your Honor?
What evidence do you have that the killer flew away?
This newspaper? Where is it? Right here? Haha. Take that! Take a look at this special edition paper. Okay.
TENMA TARO real flight of fancy? This article proves the justice.
The photo in the article was taken shortly after the murder. Maybe the yokai in that photo is the killer shortly after they fled out of the window?
Mr. Justice, you don't seriously suggesting.
Oh, I'm serious. I mean, it all adds up. The killer, disguised as TENMA TARO, flew away, you know, by some way or another.
Silence.
It is your brain that has flown the coop. That image is not but trick photography or some other form of artifice. Okay, then, How about the TARO figure of Mr. Filtsaw? It just vanished in thin air? No, there is a rational, common sense explanation of that for that. That infernal yokai, our tricksy Tanuki witness, never reached the entrance. He, or should I say she, turned back before the camera's electric eye. She? I don't like where this is going one bit. Now, the fact that we know the yokai had come from the Fox Chamber means that it was likely either Mayor Damien TENMA or his daughter means that it was likely either Mayor Damien TENMA or his daughter Jinxie TENMA. However, we know that Mayor TENMA was already unconscious at that time. Not good. Not good at all. Do you understand the gravity of the situation now, Justice Dono? The falsified yokai remnants and the appearance of TENMA TARO were the work of one individual. And that individual is none other than Jinxie TENMA. That is so not good. Apollo looks so weird like this. It's really funny. No!
Order! Order! The individual stop competing for the greatest freakout ever!
The little scamp was no doubt simply trying to protect her father. And so wonder that her superstitious mind conjured up this mad masquerade.
Prosecutor Blackwell's assertion makes perfect sense to me. It's far more convincing than saying the killer escaped by flying out of the window.
Did you truly believe this could end any other way? Did we fall right into his trap? What do we do now, Apollo? Our case no longer stands without a real yokai. If only we had one. Bailiff, seize her. It is time I interrogated her as the samurai of Yorewood. Do.
Hold it!
Mayor TENMA? This farce is over. How does it feel seeing your own daughter accused of a cover-up most foul?
TENMA TARO's true identity is...
Now, Mr. Mayor, it would be futile at this point to claim you were the yokai. After all, you'd been knocked out cold by a blow to the skull. Slipping into a yokai costume and roaming about the manor would be all but impossible. Consider this well. As it stands, your daughter will be arrested for obstruction of justice. But if you confess, the prosecution would be willing to overlook a little yokai farce.
Confess? You have any intention to confess?
Wait! Apollo, Prosecutor Blackwell's up to his mind games again. Mayor TENMA, no! Don't fall for his twisted words. If you're sent away for murder, Jinxie will be left all alone.
The real killer is...
Mayor TENMA's going to confess unless we do something. But I can't prove how the real killer could have flown away.
Caw. Look upon me in despair, for ripe is the time for my return.
Huh? Uh-oh, I should watch what I wish for.
Foolish mortals! I am TARO, the yokai you seek.
Mayor Tenma?
Silence! I am TARO, freed from the bonds binding me to the forbidden chamber. Behold the return of the Demon King.
What the Demon King?
Well, I think it's time for me to take a vacation. Which will explain himself. Are you saying that Taro, the yokai we've been chasing this whole time? Indeed. It is I, Taro, the one whom you seek. Come to reveal the truth. This child's Taro, you say? Ha! What nonsense.
So, Mayor Tenma is a yokai now?
Ka! 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 His body is now mine. So you're saying that Mayor Tenma is being possessed by you? And then the yokai Jinxie Tenma saw and Phoenix saw... and the one captured the newspaper photo, that's all you? The accursed power of these warding charms prevents me from revealing my true form.
Your boldness. Can this not be interpreted as an admission of guilt?
Well, a confession by a yokai would be quite unprecedented.
Be that as it may, the defense's case has been overturned. Huh? What? You claimed the yokai that little scamp saw was some third party, the true killer. The one who escaped from the locked fox chamber. But it was the accused all along. Ironic, is it not? Your yokai turned out to be real in a manner of speaking. For the alderman's killer is none other than Mayor Tenma. And the yokai at the scene? That too was Mayor Tenma, or should I say, our dear Tenma Taro. The pieces have all fallen into place. How so, Prosecutor Blackwell? It seems I must speak it out, all out for you. Mayor Tenma killed the alderman in the fox chamber, which was locked at the time. Why is his unconscious body was in the fox chamber, though? How could he have been possessed and moved? He then removed the warding charms to the forbidden chamber's door, but then fell unconscious from the blow the alderman had delivered to his head. That's when his daughter, Jinxie Tenma, stumbled on the scene of the crime. The little scamp fled in terror, whereupon the spirit of Tenma Taro, freed at last from the charm's warding effect, took possession of the mayor. The newly freed Tenma Taro then fled from the fox chamber. So you see, the yokai Jinxie Tenma saw was her father possessed by Tenma Taro. Objection! But when we arrived on the scene, the mayor was found unconscious. How's that possible if he was supposed to have flown out the mayor foyer window? Then what? Then what? Do you mean to say that the maid of Kyubi Manor, Jinxie Tenma, was Tenma Taro? Oh. Ugh.
Hold it! Ka! 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 That too is easily explained. Flew about for a time, did I, but presently tired, I made for the forbidden fox chamber. But alas, exhaustion took me unawares the fox chamber, and I know no more.
It would seem these pieces are still in place. Is Blackwell up to his tricks again? Okay, let me take a 5-minute break real quick. I'm gonna rest my voice real quick. Okay, I'm back. Let's proceed. Oh, sorry about that. Is Blackwell up to his tricks again? Yes, absolutely is.
I don't know what to say. It's defending a real life.
So that rumor of Mayor Tenma is true? I knew yokai were real. You mean he did kill the alderman just so he could release Tenma Taro?
Order! Order!
Now he's got everyone in the courtroom believing in yokai. It's Simon Says on steroids. He wants to convict our client any way he can, even if it means blaming a yokai. The proverbial ducks are all in a row. You should now have no qualms about finding the accused guilty, your baldness.
This is one of the most bizarre cases in my entire career. Otherworldly, in fact. Even yokai can be prosecuted under our legal system. Can yokai even be prosecuted under our legal system?
Objection! Mayor Tenma just pretending to be Mayor Tenma Taro to protect his daughter. Plus, I already proved a third party could have escaped from the locked room. A verdict at this point would be premature.
Since both sides have raised valid points, I have no choice but to...
Silence. This is the dark age of the law where defense attorneys are not to be trusted. What? This is but a play to gain time for them to fabricate evidence. How will I sleep tonight? Knowing you will not let the sun rise on the mayor's day of reckoning, Justice Dono. Objection! I won't fabricate any evidence! Silence. Then prove it by joining me. A night in the clink will ensure you will not succumb to temptation. How about I just promise not to succumb to anything? We have both evidence and a confession. The killer is this yokai before us. It is beyond dispute. A guilty verdict's all but... What's wrong with him?
Prosecutor Blackwell, we've had enough of your hijinks. The foundation of justice is fair play, and you are in serious violation of that.
What in the devil was that? Fulbright, have you tampered with my shackles in some manner?
It seems you found that quite shocking. It's my special jolt of justice device. Each press is a shocking reminder to behave.
You shall pay for this. I, Simon Blackwell...
Your Honor!
Vow to...
You need not fear now. I believe Prosecutor Blackwell will remain on his best behavior.
A bit late with the reassurance, aren't we, Detective?
Well, in that case... This concludes today's deliberations. The prosecution and defense will use this opportunity to further their investigations. This court is adjourned.
To be continued. Noise. Save game? Yes. April 18th, 1:20 p.m. Wright, Anything Agency. Having a yokai testify in court is unprecedented, to say the least. I am Tenma Taro, the yokai you seek. How could such a straight-laced man like Mr. Tenma suddenly become a demon? Yeah, it's strange. Even worse, Prosecutor Blackhole's playing along. I can't even think straight anymore. I need to go out for a run. See you in a bit. Wait, what about the investigation? Back. Whoa, Tracy, welcome back. Oh, you're in your stage outfit. Back from work? Yep. I really nailed this new magic trick I've been working on. I also heard about those tricks that were conjured up in court earlier today. You know, the demon out of nowhere trick and Polly's tightrope style defense trick. I was seriously considering a disappearing act of my own after all that craziness. Anyway, our next trick is find a suspect other than the mayor. I know the killer must have used the air duct in their escape. And whoever did that was the TENMA TARO that Mr. Filch and Jinxie saw. Right. Maybe there's some evidence in the air duct. The real fight starts now. Right now. Hey, before you go, let me make the evidence you no longer need disappear. 3, 2, 1, ta-da! Unnecessary evidence has disappeared into Trucy's magic panties. I wonder where all that stuff goes. Okay, let's get over to the scene of the crime. Vamonos, Apollo, vamonos! I thought she was gonna go for a run. Oh well. Okay. April 18th, QB Manor, Fox Chamber. Detective Fulbright, mind if we search the air duct?
Well, since you really are on the side of justice, I suppose I can let you. Plus, my own sense of justice has been called into doubt, so...
Wonder if he's been like this ever since the trial. Well, his sense of justice has been beaten to a pulp. It'll probably take a while for him to recover. I sort of feel bad for him, but we have work to do. Let's go get the evidence we need. The air duct is the key. We know the TENMA TARO impersonator used it to make an escape. After murdering the alderman, the killer left the Fox Chamber through the hallway door. Then, after locking the door from the outside, the killer entered the air duct in the hallway. Finally, the killer dropped the key into the Fox Chamber through the air vent here. Then went back through the duct and fled out the manor. That's how the illusion of no one entering or leaving the locked room was created. If the killer passed through the air duct, maybe we'll find some evidence there. Maybe some black feathers or something like that. Well, here's our vent. It's awfully high up. Don't worry, I brought a stepladder. Happy hunting! How nice of her to volunteer me for the job. Whoa, it's pitch black in here. Well, here goes nothing.
Oh god, there's a thick layer of dust in here.
I don't get it. Find anything? Yikes, Apollo, what happened? You're covered in dust.
Yeah, dust. Lots of dust.
So what'd you find? You know how dust collects on something when nobody uses it for a long time? Yeah, like Mr. Wright's desk back at the office. Right. You think it'd be possible to crawl over that sort of dust without leaving a trail? I seriously doubt it. Wait, you're not suggesting... Oh, do you guys hear Siri? Just like, dude. No one's gone through that duct lately? No one's gone through that duct lately? Duct lately? Yeah, looks like it. Kind of looks that way. And if it's true, Mayor TENMA is going to be fingered as the killer. What the... Oh, thanks to Siri, the sound went out. Hold on. Siri... Oh, right. I have to disconnect this, actually. Real quick. Is it working? Let's see. But... No? Oh, yeah. Oh, I gotta turn the sound down again. If we don't turn things around quickly... Oh, what the... Why is it so loud?
In justice we trust!
Ah! There we go, the volume up.
Oh, sorry, right. In justice we trust! Sorry, Mr. Justice. But it seems your justice was not the most just after all. It is my sense of justice that has prevailed.
Detective Fulbright sure seems chipper all of a sudden. And I'm back to my old devastated self.
Oh, come on! Where's that never say die spirit? Bring it on, Mr. Lawyer Man. Bring it on!
Let me suffer in peace.
Justice prevails once more.
It's not over yet, and besides, kicking someone when they're down is what bad guys do.
Are you calling me a bad guy? Me? Bobby Fulbright, champion of justice?
Then how about some information on the case? Investigation, we need some help here.
Information about the investigation? Alright. But I won't have you call me a bad guy ever again, understood?
We did it, Apollo. Yeah, but how long can we keep this up? The investigation. I can't believe Prosecutor Blackwell would stoop that low. I mean, depending the blame on a yokai, he really wants a conviction at all costs.
Whoa!
She could give a yokai a run for its money when she's mad.
Yes, well, I have him writing a self-reflective essay as we speak.
I doubt that'll teach him anything. Yeah, he'll probably just write dotard a couple 1,000 times.
That whole yokai business is most likely a ploy to win a conviction. Truth is, Prosecutor Blackwell believes Jinxie Tenma planted that yokai stuff. Planted in an effort to protect her father. The real killer.
Yeah, right. I'd like to see him prove it.
Oh, calm down. He doesn't have any direct evidence, but we did find this. It was at the base of the cliff just outside Kimi Manor.
Wait, that isn't the staff Tenma TARO was supposedly carrying, is it?
The one and only. Miss Tenma no doubt tossed it over the cliff when she was done.
No way. Well, what about Prince?
Nope, no Prince, but if she was wearing a costume, there wouldn't be any anyway.
Well, Prince or no Prince, it's not going to work in our favor. Sounds like the staff might have belonged to the mansion. But if that's the case, then where in the mansion did Tenma TARO come from? The Amazing Nine Tails. Did Prosecutor Blackwell figure out that the victim was the Amazing Nine Tails?
He did indeed. He's a sharp one, all right. He figured it out while investigating the municipal merger and the victim's past. The Amazing Nine Tails sparked the yokai craze and worked against the merger. And Mayor Damien Tenma is the corrupt politician who murdered that great hero. The Amazing Nine Tails fans are so angry that they even tried to storm the detention center.
I don't blame them. I mean, their favorite masked wrestling hero was murdered. They must have been shocked when they found out what happened. Speaking of which, isn't Jinxie also a fan of the Amazing Ninetales? A wrestler's mask is more precious than his own life. He'd never unmask himself in front of others. But there are matches where wrestlers battle for the right to remove each other's masks. To have your mask torn off is the worst humiliation a wrestler could suffer. That's why their masks are more important to them than life itself. She spoke with a passion not only a fan could appreciate. We had to become fans ourselves and go protest in front of the prison. What? No! You fear that Mayor TENMA is not only Jinxie's father, but our client? Oh, yeah.
You be careful now. You're defending the most hated mayor in history. Ooh, I don't know. There's gotta be more hated mayors in history than him. Well, I mean, of course, but like... I just hope you don't find yourself on the wrong end of a figure 4 leg lock.
Maybe I should wear a mask to hide my identity. Are there any other new developments we should know?
Now that you mention it. Our suspect is suffering from her partial memory loss, but he did manage to remember something.
He did? What'd he say?
He said he didn't want to speak with us. His exact words were, "I am under no obligation to speak with you mortals." And other things of that nature.
I wonder what Mayor TENMA remembered.
Too bad you can't go ask him now, because Prosker Black was busy questioning him. I know, why didn't you wait down at the playground with the rest of the kids?
What now, Apollo? How about regrouping back at the agency? Good idea. We might get some words of wisdom out of Mr. Wright while we're there. April 18th, Write Anything Agency. Maybe I'll go read over some past cases. And I'll go do some research on exorcisms. Hey, what's up with you guys? You seem bummed out. How should I put this? It's like we're at the edge of a cliff and the only way is down. In other words, business as usual, right? Yeah, I suppose so. Except this time it's like we're bound and gagged, too. Don't forget blindfolded with our ears plugged up. Oh, and monsters at every turn, huh? Sounds rough. Hey, Paul. Oh, and Athena's here, too. Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright.
How goes the investigation, Apollo? Athena?
I think it's safe to say that things have gotten hairier than before.
Really? What happened?
Our defense.
I was watching the two of you this morning from the gallery. That was one tough day in court, to say the least.
I know, I've never had to defend a yokai before. Phoenix's face.
That business about the locked room was another major hurdle.
Yeah, and on top of that, Jinxie was accused of being an accomplice.
But at least you figured out how someone could have escaped the Forbidden Chamber. Yeah, well, we just found out that our reasoning might be a tad flawed. Oh, really? Well, that's bad news.
How are we going to get out of this one?
The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles.
Force a smile?
Yeah, my mentor taught me that back when I was still learning the trade. She, also taught me to return to the basics whenever I got stuck.
Return to the basics?
That's right. Always believe in your client no matter what happens. That is a lawyer's greatest and most trusted weapon.
The basics. Always believe in your client, huh? Okay, I will be right back. Give me a 10-minute break. I need to rest my voice for a short bit, and then we will continue off for one more short span, and then we'll be done. Okay, I'm back. It's a little bit short of 10 minutes, but we have a little bit more than 10 minutes left of the stream, so we'll keep going for about 10 minutes. So. Thank you for being patient. You and Athena. So, Mr. Wright, how long have you known Athena? I met her during a trip to Europe. Huh? You're in Europe? Why haven't I heard about this before? Yeah, I went there a few times to study the various legal systems over there. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I thought you worked as a pianist after you quit practicing law. I did, but an old friend of mine needed help with some legal work from time to time, so... Oh, I guess you were never very far from the courtroom then. It was like fate brought us together. It's thanks to Mr. Wright that I became a lawyer at all. I knew she was lawyer material from the moment I met her. And I have high hopes for her ability to analyze people's emotions. Aw, it's nothing special. Maybe I've underestimated that analytical psychology of hers. It's just, I thought if my special ability could help defend innocent people. Then I had to do everything in my power to bring it to the courtroom. That's when I really started hitting the books hard. I'm still amazed she actually became a lawyer. And at the tender age of 18, no less. Wow, that's almost superhuman. Or personal, like she's trying to help somebody she knows. Alright, I'm totally pumped up after talking to you, Mr. Wright. It's like you said, the worst of times are when lawyers force their biggest smiles. And don't forget to return to the basics whenever you get stuck. Keep leading my client. Right. Mr. Wright? Yes? I'm going to go visit our client again. I think that's a good idea. Alright, time to see what's new down at the detention center. April 18th, detention center visitor, sir. Mayor TENMA, we wanted to talk to you about something. Kasha! Ka! So my minions have returned. Dude. Apollo, he still thinks he's a yokai. I wonder if we'll ever be able to talk to Mayor TENMA again. Silence, peddler of the legal trade. Free me from these imprisoning walls with great haste. Wow. He's sounding more and more like a real demon with every sentence. I'm starting to wonder if we should even be helping him win his freedom. Still, we can't let Mayor TENMA stay possessed, you know what I mean? If you can clear me of these charges, I shall help in whatever manner I may. Now ask of me what you will. I suppose it's worth a shot. Feathers and tracks. Were those feathers and tracks at the scene of the crime really your doing? Indeed! The remnants of TARO, TENMA, king of the underworld they be. The day when I once again dominate the mortal worlds at hand. Ka! The prosecution claims the feathers and tracks were planted by Jinxie. What's this? What's this? I must breach these walls and go defend my little Jinxie at once. Huh? Mayor TENMA, is that you? Oh, hey, Tim. Well now. Damien appears to still reside within this body. What I should have expected as a descendant of mine. Be silent now, Damien! I guess little thing like demonic possession won't stop a father's love for his daughter. You didn't kill Autumn and QB, did you? I have killed no one. The remnants of my presence have been misconstrued. The murderer is not I, for if I had slain that mortal,
Raging hellfire would have... Wait, what? Wait, what is it? Would have consumed him, leaving naught but ash.
Yeah, what the... So you're saying that there must have been somebody else there? Come to think of it, the mayor had mentioned that he'd been clubbed with a statue. I better ask about this too. What you remembered. Detective Fulbright mentioned that you might have something new to tell me.
Indeed, I have. I regurgitated this key but a short while ago. Behold the key to the Forbidden Chamber.
Whoa. Is regurgitation one of your demonic powers too?
I do not waste my power on such parlor tricks.
How are you doing, Tim? It's a bit crazy what's going on right now in the game. It's like, what the...
Take the key from the killer to Damien, whereupon he swallowed it. He sought to bar the killer entry to the Forbidden Chamber!
So he wanted to keep it shut tight?
But no fingerprints shall you find upon that key.
How do you know that? Wait, is that another one of your demonic powers then?
Foolish mortal! You would have me, TENMA TARO, act as some asinine alchemist? I but asked the jailer and my will was done. Quite eagerly, I must add. Ka 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 ka!
Always an honor to serve, your malevolence. Guess I'm not the only one he scares the living daylights out of. Can we ask how you use this key? We couldn't find a key anywhere in or around the door. Are you waiting for Nick? You guys wanna play some Rocket League or something? Yeah, I woke up a couple hours ago and then started the stream a little bit after I woke up. I ate something.